Before I get started into this, my friend just called me, and I'm just gonna kind of text them back, make sure that everything's okay with them. Okay, wait. Okay, oh, it's not working. Okay, well that's unfortunate. But anyways,
There it is. Sorry.
Okay, awesome. So this isn't looking very good. I might have to go take this outside. So bringing up an issue that might be a little bit more pertinent to some of us than others, I'm going to talk about suicide prevention today. So that text you just saw was actually fake, but for some of us, maybe we've had that conversation with somebody in this room that was somebody very close to us. So that's something that I'm going to go into today and provide some context into this issue. So in 2014, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention stated that of all of the diseases that we hear about in a day, suicide was the 10th leading cause of death. Out of 1.3 million attempted suicides, 43,000 were successful. That is so ridiculous in the sense that these people are dealing with problems so great that they would rather kill themselves than seek help, or even confide in somebody else in what these problems are. As an added statistic, men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. So really going into how to recognize the signs of suicide and what to do if somebody you know is suicidal. So, what are the signs? The biggest thing in recognizing suicide is recognizing when somebody is depressed. KidsHealth.org states that untreated depression is the #1 cause of suicide. So being able to recognize when someone is depressed, we've already talked about earlier body language. If somebody is really wrapped up in themselves, they're not talking to other people. Maybe they're saying fairly dark statements like, I wish I couldn't go on anymore, or I wish I wasn't on this planet, or even outright saying, I want to kill myself. That is also an extreme sign of somebody who is suicidal. But really just recognizing when these people are depressed is so important. 16% of students on Cal Poly's campus in 2010 reported feeling depressed. Out of a campus of 26,000 students, that's about 4,100 students. That's insane. That's so many students that are dealing with incredible problems that are impeding their academic success. So now knowing what to say, this is extremely important. So there's the ask, listen, and tell method. So asking direct questions like, are you thinking of harming yourself? Are you thinking of suicide? Really getting the conversation moving. Because that is what the person really probably wants to do, is talk about their feelings, but they might not feel like they have somebody who they can confide into. So after recognizing those signs, asking them those questions. And then listening to their story, listening to their problems, and finally telling them that you are there for them no matter what, in every single situation. And then even telling somebody higher up who you trust. I think that there's some sort of stigma in that we want to protect people by not telling others that they might be suicidal, but really in the end, if this person's life is at risk, why would you not want to tell somebody who might be more trained or might have more experience on the subject? And step 3, providing the person with the necessary resources. So, like I already said, sharing your concerns with an adult who you can trust. This might be a teacher, it might be somebody on campus, a counselor, somebody that you believe could be able to help this individual more than you could. Directing them to a suicide toll-free number, so 1-800-SUICIDE, or even calling 911, both are ways that are things that you can do to direct that person to the right services. And also the services that we have on campus for mental health. We have counseling services that are free. All you have to do is make an appointment online, and that's easily how that contact is made, and you can go with that person to the counseling appointment if they feel that that would be more beneficial. So now talking about suicide on Cal Poly's campus. So in this past year, 6% of students felt so depressed that they had thoughts of suicide. 2% actually made a plan to kill themselves, and 1% actually attempted. Again, out of a campus of 26,000 students, that's 260 students that felt that their problems were so great that they would rather end their lives than try to work out these problems, which is, as a Mustang, that's a horrible statistic. So I want to talk a little bit about why this topic is important to me. So actually a few Saturdays ago, I got a call from a friend at 1 in the morning. She was at a party, and she was facing a lot of issues herself, and her direct words, the first thing that she said to me was, "I want to kill myself." And being at home for the weekend and not being with her, it was something that, in that moment, I wasn't sure exactly what to do. And so I hope that at some point in this presentation, you've learned something that might be able to help you in that kind of situation. I don't know any of you that well, but many of you might have been in this situation, and I think that this quote really sums it up all together. Believe it or not, you can save someone's life just by talking to them.